first thing is locate a particular element. Then once that element is found, then what we have to do? Perform action on it. See, first thing is we have to locate that element. In order to locate a particular element, we have 8 different locators. So we have 8 different locators. So first what we have to do, locate a web element using its properties available in DOM. DOM stands for Document Object Model. Okay. So whatever HTML page that will be loaded, that we call it as DOM, Document Object Model. So using the properties of web elements which are available in the DOM, we have to locate that element. So what are the main properties that we have? Either ID or name or link text or partial link text, class name, tag name, XPath, CSS selector. So these are 8 different locators which we have in order to locate a particular web element. So we'll see one by one. We'll see one by one how using all this, how we can find a particular web element. Okay. So now in Gmail application, I have launched Gmail application. Once Gmail application is launched, what I want to do is go to right click, go to inspect element. In inspect element, you will have one second. Yeah, this is the in Safari browser. This is the one you can spy a particular element. If you are using Chrome or Firefox, so if I open Firefox, let me open gmail.com. So this page will be launched. Right click, go to inspect. This is the tool that we use to spy a particular element. Okay. So if you click on this, it will help you to spy a particular element. So now you want to find this element. So select this element like this, click on it. So here it will show you the tag they have created for this particular element. The tag they have created for this element. So in order to find these elements, so this is an input tag. That means it will allow some input. It will allow the user to provide some input. Okay. So that is why they have created this as input tag. Input. And what are the properties that they have given? ID. ID is one property where ID is equal to identifier ID. Class is equal to so-and-so. Type. What is the type? Type is email. This input is of type email. So that is why they have given the type as email. JS name is one more property. And autocomplete is one more property. Spell check. So tab index, ADL label. So all these are properties that they have given to this particular web element. So what are all elements that are available on a web page? We call them as web elements. So for all web elements, they will give some properties. So normally whenever you give an input type is equal to email, it will allow the input as email type. That means @ so and so .com. That is how the format it should be. So all these properties, class stands for style. So if you don't give the styles, it will normally look as normal text. So you have to add some styles to this text box. If you want to add that, you are using the attribute you are using the property called class. WHSONDZHQKBF. So here this class means, so here if you see there is one more tag here available, filter styles. This is a cascading style sheets. CSS they have used. So if it is ZHQKBF means they are adding all this property. That means border radius is equal to 4 pixels, color is equal to so and so, font size is this much, height is equal to this much, margin is equal to this much, padding, Z and a hyphen index. So if you are using this class name means it will add all these styles. It will add all these styles to your web element. Okay. So this is the second one. Now the first one is WHSOND that they have here. They have written the for this class. What are the styles they have included is box, flexibility, flex, grow, something. So flex, shrink, background color, border, display, font. So these are the styles that they have created. So if you want this, everything will be reusable. So they have created the style once and they are using multiple times. So here for this particular tag, they have used two styles. One is WHSOND, the other one is ZHQKBF. These are two different styles they have used for this particular tag. So if they want to use the same style for another tag, they can do it. So if you can find the same style for another tag as well. Okay. So it is not, see here they have used the same style. See, for this div also, they use the same style, ZKHDKD. This is another one, I think. Let me show you. So these styles are not specific to a particular tag. If they want to use the same style for another tag, they can use it. So class is not the unique thing which you can use to find a particular element, because class means styles that you how the content in your page it should look like. For that purpose, we use the class. Okay. So this style may be used by some other web element on the same page. This style may be used by some other element on the same web page. So just by using the class name, you cannot find a particular element because it can be used by other elements also. So if it is unique only, then only you have to use that property. If it is if it is not unique, it is used by multiple web elements on the same page, then you cannot find that particular web element uniquely. So in that case, you cannot use that property to find that particular element. So once you see if the web element is having this ID property, blindly you can use it, because ID is the only property which will be unique for each and every web element. If you find if any tag is having ID, then you can blindly use that web element to tell the driver to go and find that particular web element using the ID, because ID will be unique for each and every web element. For every web element, if ID is available, if they have designed ID for that particular, if they have given ID property, then you can blindly use it because ID will be unique. Okay. So now I want to find this web element. I want to locate this web element using the ID. What is the ID? Identifier ID is the ID of this particular element. I want to use this property and find this web element. How can I do that? It's simple. Just watch it carefully. Let me create a class. WebDriver manager. Okay. Dot. I want to use pro driver dot setup. Now I want to launch this. So WebDriver is equal to new Chrome driver. Now driver dot get off URL. So what is the URL? HTTPS www.gmail.com. Okay, this is the website I want to launch. Once the website is launched, Now we have to locate the elements and do our action, whatever we want. So once we open the Gmail, what we will do, we'll provide the email ID and then click on next, right? So in order to provide the email ID, we need to first locate this element. First, we need to locate this particular element. So in order to locate that element, I am using the ID of that tag, ID property of that tag. Okay. So if you find ID, if you find the property ID for a particular tag, then blindly you can use it because ID will be unique. So now I want to use this ID. Okay. So how I can use this locator? Let me copy this one. See how we are, see, observe carefully how we are using it. Locate by ID. Now, driver dot find element by ID. This is the ID. Okay. So what we are doing, we are asking the driver to find the web element by ID. What is the ID? Identifier ID is the ID. Now what it will do? It will find that particular web element in that web page. In Gmail web page, it will try to find the web element whose ID is this one. Okay. Once that particular web element is found, it will return that web element. So let me capture it in a particular web element. Web element ID Gmail ID is equal to driver.find. Okay. Now Gmail ID means this web element, this web element. So we are asking the driver to find a particular web element in Gmail website whose ID is this one. So if you give this one, it will find this particular web element. That web element, I am storing it in Gmail ID. Web element, web element is an interface. So for this interface, I am creating an object Gmail ID. So that it will store the web element whose ID is identifier ID. Now, first task is completed, locating a particular element. So we have completed this task. We have identified that element. Now what we have to do, we have to perform the action. What is the action? So once we find that element, Gmail ID input of type input, what we have to do, we have to send some text. We have to pass some text. How we can pass it? So Gmail ID dot, for this web element, we have to send some keys. So we have a method called send keys. So what is the keys that I want to send? I want to send some dummy thing like this @gmail.com. Whatever I want, I can send it here. Okay. This is what we have to do. First, locate that particular element. Then we have to send keys. See, everything is already available. So in order to find the element by a particular locator, also we have everything available. We need to just provide the information. That's it. Everything is already available. How to find a particular element, how to send some input to that web element, everything is available. You just need to know what method we have to use. Okay. So now let me save this program and run it. See, Gmail is open. What happened? Some error is there? Let me use Safari only. There is some version issue, I think. Let me save this and run. Maybe I'm just- Just give me one more time. There's some issue. In Firefox, it is working. Let me run it again. I'm not sure why it is not working in Chrome and Safari. I need to check it. But in Firefox, it is working fine. So if I run the same program, I didn't make any changes. If I'm running the same thing in Firefox, it is opening Gmail. It found that element and passed the text which we have given. I'll check that why it is not working in Firefox, in Chrome and Safari. So in Firefox, it is working fine. So this is how we find a particular web element. We locate a particular web element and perform the action, whatever we want. Okay. Now, if you want to click the next button, or if you want to click any web element, we can first, what is the first thing that we need to do? We have to first locate that particular element and then perform the action, whatever we want. So here we have to pass text. So that is why we use the method send keys. If you want to click a particular web element, we can use the click method. There is a method called click. We can use that method. Okay, we'll see one by one. So we are done with ID. We have seen how to find a web element using the ID. Then next locator is name. So we can find the web element if provided if a web element is having these properties, we can use them directly. So if a web element has the name property, we can use the name. Okay, so let me show you that as well. So this is the first property ID. Let's see if the same tag has the name property. Yes, it has the name property. Name is equal to identifier. Name is equal to identifier. So we can use this property for finding this element. Okay, copy. But one thing we have to make sure that using this property, this is the only element. This is the only element that we can find using this property. So I'll when it comes to XPath or CSS selector, I'll tell you how to do that as well. As of now, there is only one web element using with this name. There is only one web element in this Gmail web page with the name identifier. But when we are discussing about the XPath and CSS selector, then I'll tell you how to check that if there is any other element with the same name. We can check if there is any other element with the same property. That means name is equal to identifier. If in that case, if there is one more web element with the same name, then we cannot use this property. There should, so we have to use a property in such a way that with that property, there is only one particular web element. Suppose if there is one more element with the same name identifier, then the driver will be confused whether to go to that web element or this web element. So that confusion should not be there for the web driver. We have to give the instructions in a proper way. Okay. So now let's use this property name is equal to identifier and locate the same web element. Let me comment this one. It will not, it is not working. Now locate by name. The same thing we can do. Driver dot find element by dot name. Okay. So the name here it is identifier. So it will return the web element. And on top of that, what is the action that we need to do? Send the keys. What is the keys? So whatever you want, you can send the keys to it. So this is the thing that I want to send to it. Okay. So first to find the element, locate that particular web element. Once the element is located, then we want to perform the send keys action. We want to pass some text to that web element. So that is why we use the send keys method. Okay. Now let me run this program. Located that particular web element and pass the text which we have given. Okay. So that is about the name at name locator. So using the name locator, this is how we can find a particular web element and perform the action whatever we want. Okay. Now let's see the next locator. The next locator is link text. This we use to find a particular link in a web page. So in Amazon website or in any e-commerce website like Amazon or Flipkart or Wedgecart or whatever e-cart. So in all these websites, e-commerce websites, you will find lot of links in the web page, lot of links in your web page. In order to find a particular link, you can use the link text or partial link text. Okay. So link text in this website in Gmail, you will have a lot of links. So here, forgot email is one link, learn more is a link, create account is a link, next is a link. This help is a link, privacy is a link, terms is a link. So when you click on this, when you click on this, it will be navigated to a new page, right? So if you click on forgot email also, you will be navigated to a new page. If you click on this learn more also, you will be navigated to a new page like this. So whenever if you are clicking on a particular element and you are navigated to another page, then we call that as a link. Okay. So now let me try to find this forgot email. It is a button with the text forgot email. So when you click on it, it will be navigated to a new page. If you are clicking on this learn more, it is a link with a tag. So when you click on this when you click on this learn more, it is navigating to a new page whose link is provided in href attribute, href property. So when you click on this learn more, you will be navigated to this page. https://support.google.com account question mark p is equal to sign in private browsing. So this page you will be navigated when you click on this learn more. So if you want to find this particular web element, you can use this link text property. What is this link text? So whatever is displayed here, learn more, that we call it as the text, link text. That we call it as a link text. You can use this property, link text, to find this particular web element. Okay. So how we can do that? I'll show you. Locate by link text. driver dot find element by dot link text. So what is the link text here? LEARN and more. So this is the link text, right? It should be case sensitive. So whatever is present, let me copy it and paste it. It is case sensitive. Even if it is a small letter, if you write it as a capital letter, it won't work. So this, it will return the web element here whose link text is learn more. Now on top of it, what is the action that I want to perform? I want to perform the click action. So click is a method we have. So once we find a particular link with the text to learn more, then perform the click activity on that. So we have to perform the click action. So once we, so when for any link if we want to check, we need to perform the click. So if I click on this learn more, it is navigated to a new page. So it is getting navigated to Google account help page. This page it is getting navigated. So let's check that one, whether it is working fine or not. Let me run this program. See, Google account help page is launched. Google account help page is launched. This is how you locate a particular link using the link text. Clear all of you? Now, let's see the next web element. Next locator, which is partial link text. Partial link text. See, in few cases, the link text will be very lengthy, very lengthy. So in that case, you don't want to use that much link text and you want to use a part of it, a part of the link text. Then you can use partial link text. You can use partial link text. If in case, if the link text is very lengthy, you don't want to use that much link text, then you can go with partial link text. But generally, we don't prefer this one. We don't prefer this partial link text as this locator is there. We need to study about it. But in general, we don't use this partial link text. Okay. So the same way, the same thing, let me comment this one. The same web element, learn more. Let me try to find it using the partial link text. So driver dot find element by dot partial link text. Okay. Here I can give either learn or more. I'm giving a part of the link text. I'm not giving complete learn more. I'm just giving learn, part of it. Okay. And now I want to perform the click action on it. So this we go, if the link text is very lengthy, here it is only 2 words, so you can go with link text. But if the link text is very lengthy, then you can use this partial link text. But generally, we don't prefer this one. We use the complete link text only. Okay. Now let me save this program. Run it. So it worked because in this page with the partial link text learn, there is only one web element. So the driver was easily able to find that web element and it performed the click activity on that. Okay. So that is about the partial link text. If you want to give a part of it, then you can go ahead and use the partial link text. Now let me comment these things and see the next locator. The next locator we have is class name. Class name, we use this in order to find a particular web element with the style it is following. With the style it is following. What is the styles that it is using with the background color or so whatever style it is following, with that style, if you want to find a particular web element, then we can use this class name property. But generally, with class name alone, we can't find a particular web element because many elements, so not only one particular web element will be using that style. So it depends on the developer. If any other elements are also using the same style, so then you cannot use this class name. Okay. So generally with class name alone, we cannot find a particular web element. It is not preferable. So along with class name, you can use any other property. How to use that going forward, we will see. But as of now, we'll try to find a web element using the class name. Okay. So for this particular web element, let's find the class name. So use this inspector, this spy, and look and select this web element. If you click on that, it will show you the tag of that particular web element. So now you check the class. So this is the class it is using. So let me copy that class which it is using. And now using that class, let me try to find that particular web element. So locate by class. Driver dot find element by dot class name. Okay, this is the class that particular web element has. So we are asking the driver to find a particular web element whose class name is this. And then what we want to do, we want to send keys. What are the keys that we need to send? I am giving a dummy mail ID here @gmail.com. Okay, and this is what we want to perform here. Okay, let me save this one and run this program. And then this unable to locate element. Huh? I didn't make any changes to it. Copy. This is the class. Hmm, okay. So if you are giving two styles, it is not able to find. So let me try to use only one style. So in CSS, if there is any space in between means, these are two different styles. This is one style and this is one style. So if I am giving multiple styles at a time, if it is the driver is not able to find, so let me use only one style at a time. Let me use the second one ZHQKBF. So let me use that one particular one and try to run this program. See, it was able to find now. So if you are using multiple styles at a time, it was not able to find. If you give one style at a time, it was able to find. So generally we don't prefer to use this class name alone to find a particular web element. Suppose in case with this same style, if there is some other web element, then we cannot find that particular web element uniquely. So in most of the cases, we don't prefer to use this one alone. Along with this, we use some other locator to find that element. How to use them going forward, we will see. So as of now, this is how we find a class name. If in class name, if there are any spaces, means that particular web element is using multiple styles. Okay, so let me comment this one. Now, the next locator is tag name. Tag name. So with a particular tag name, how many web elements are there? If you want to find that, then we use this locator tag name. So in this web page, in this web page, I want to find all the tags, all the anchor tags. If I want to find that, if I want to find how many links are available in my web page, then what I will do, I will use this tag name locator. So using the tag name, I will find how many links are there in this particular web element, web page. So in order to do that, we have this locator tag name. So locate by tag name driver dot find. So here we have to use the plural form because there may be multiple tags with this tag name. So it will not return only one element. It will return multiple web elements. So we have to use find elements plural form because with that tag name there might be multiple tags in that web page. So we cannot use the find element. If you are using the find element, it will throw you an error. So that is why we have to use find elements by dot tag name. So I want to find all the web elements in Gmail page whose tag name is a anchor tag. Anchor tag. If you want to find the div tags, you can give this one. If you want to find with the img, you can give this one. Whatever you want, you can give. As of now, I want to find the number of links in the web page. So I'll give a tag. Okay. It will return all the web elements in the Gmail page whose tag name is a. Whose tag name is a. So as it is returning plural, multiple web elements, so I cannot store it in a particular singular form. So I will use a collection. So I'll use a list of type web elements. I'll give a name for it. For this list, li is equal to this. Let me import list. Is it clear, all of you? So it will return group of elements. That means it will return a collection of elements who similar elements. It will return only web elements. So I'm creating a list of type web element. In that, it will store all the web elements which are returned by this driver dot find elements by tag name a. Okay. Now, if I want to do any action, like if I want to use for each loop, I can use. So for each loop, I can use and iterate through it. Okay. So here, let me use. Yes, something like that. So I want to print something. Link text I want to print. So what I will do, s dot get attribute, or let me take get text. Oh. Okay. So for this link, what is the text that is available that I want to print it in the console? So that I can use, for that I can use this method get text. So for for this link, this is a tag, right? Learn more. So if you use the get text method, it will get this learn more and print it in the output. So like that, how many links are there available in this web page with anchor tag? All those web elements will be returned and it will be stored in this list li, and I'm iterating through all the list elements and I'm printing the text of that links. So display text of that links, I am printing it here. So let me save this program. Run it. Okay. So there are 4 web elements with the anchor tags in this web page. So what the first one is learn more, second one is help, privacy, and terms. So these are the 4 elements in that web page with anchor tags. So this is how we store the multiple web elements using a list. So we are storing all these web elements returned by this driver dot find elements in a list of type web element, and we are iterating it through all the list items, and we are printing the text display text of it like this. Is it clear, all of you? Any doubts till now?
Can you please tell me last one?
Which,
List.
this one?
List web element li private dot find l.
Yes. Okay. So if you use find, till now we have used find element, right? That means it will find that particular web element uniquely and it will return only one web element. So that is
Yes.
why we used web find element. But here in this case, in a web page, I I want to return multiple web elements.
Okay.
If I use the if I use this locator tag name, all the
Okay.
tags with this tag name A will be returned. Suppose in this
Okay.
page we have 4 web elements, right?
Yeah.
So all those will be returned. It will return a group of elements. So in that
Yes.
case, I cannot store it individually like this. Here I stored at line number 24, I stored it using the, so as it will return only one web element, I stored it like this, right?
Okay.
But here
Yeah.
it will return multiple web elements.
Okay.
Multiple web elements, I cannot store it like this at line number, as in line number 24. I have to
Yes.
store it
Yes.
either in list or whatever collection is appropriate that I can use it. So here I used a list. So generally primitive data types will be using, like we have seen how to use string, int, like that. But it is returning web elements, right? So I have to store it in a web element.
Okay.
Here, all of you. So that web elements, if I want to iterate through it and display the text, this is the method we have to display the text of it. Okay.
Okay.
Others, any doubts till now?
In for loop, after web element, why we use s?
So each and every web element, we are storing it in this variable, yes, right? In for
Okay.
each. So first element in this list will be stored in yes, and
Yes. Okay.
the text of that link, anchor tag link, if I want, so just for
Thank
showing you,
you. Yeah.
so if you want, this is just for your understanding, I have used this one, like these
Okay.
elements are available. So if
Okay.
I use this get text, it will return the display text whatever is available in this web page. So
Okay.
yeah, this one will be so display text, I want to print it so that you will understand these are the
Okay.
different anchor tags. So that is why I have this. So whatever you want going forward, you can do with that links also, but as of now I want to show you, like you
Okay.
can perform, so each and every link you can perform the click operation.
Yes. Yes.
So whatever you want you can do. As of now I want to show you that these are the 4 web elements in that page with anchor tags. So I just want to show you the display text.
Oh, fine.
In others, any doubts still now? Okay, so this is about the tag name locator. If you go to the next one, it is the XPath. XPath and CSS selector are the most powerful locators. So suppose if any tag, if it doesn't have any of these properties with which you cannot uniquely identify that particular web element. So there are some tags in many applications where it will not have any properties, but still you need to find that web element and you need to perform the action. So in that case, we use either XPath or CSS selector. We if a tag, if it doesn't have any properties also, we should be in a position to find it and to perform the operation. So in that case, we use the XPath or CSS selector. Now, what is this XPath or CSS selector? suppose suppose I want to find a person uh, in a relatives group or something like that. So you generally think as a family hierarchy. Okay. Suppose I know the person's father name or mother name, but I don't know this person's name. I know his father name or mother name, Suppose if I know the father name, the person's father name is so and so XYZ, but I don't know this person's name, but I need to locate this person. How can I locate? I can simply say that uh, son or daughter of XYZ. In that case, whom I am mentioning? I am mentioning this person only. I am mentioning this person only. I'm locating this person using the father's name. Or if I know the mother's name, if it is ABC, I can simply say son or daughter of ABC. Okay. So like this, I can still locate if I don't know if I don't know this person, I can still locate that person. Or if I know the sibling of this person, if I know the sibling of this person, suppose the sibling is say XY, so I can simply say brother or sister of XY. See, even if I don't know this person, but still I am able to locate that person using the family hierarchy. Or if I don't know the father's name also, I know the grandfather's name. Grandfather's name, suppose he is AB. So I can say that AB's grandson or AB's granddaughter, right? So in family hierarchy, if I don't know that particular person, but I know the ancestors or siblings. Suppose if this person has child XY, like this. So even in that case also I can find father of XY or mother of XY. So if I don't know a particular person, if this person doesn't have any identity, any locator like ID or name or CSS or class name, it doesn't have anything. It doesn't have any properties, but still I can locate this particular web element using like the family hierarchy like this. Using the family hierarchy like this, I can still locate this particular web element and perform the activities whatever I want. Okay. So now the family hierarchy HTML DOM, the parent tag will be HTML. So this is the root tag. First. So yesterday we have seen one example, right? How to create a HTML page. In that, first root tag will be HTML. Under this, you will have head and body. Okay. Under head, you will have lot of things like title or headers, how number of tags you will have. Even under this body also, you will have any n number of tags. Under this body, you can have whatever tags you want, you can have. So that means it is also following a family hierarchy, tree-like structure. So first will be the HTML tag. Under this HTML, you will have head, body, like this you will have. Under this head, you will have n number of tags like this title or whatever, like H1 or paragraph or span or whatever tags you want, you can have. Under this body also, you can have any number of tags like this div or table or whatever you want. Under this table, you can have n number of like TR table rows you can have. Under this TRs, you can have TH headers and TD like this. This is also a kind of family tree structure. Even the HTML DOM will act as a family tree like this. Suppose if you don't have any identity, any property to find this particular element, but still you can find it using this family hierarchy. You can find it using the H1 tag, the sibling of P, or you can use this parent tag head, or you can use this HTML tag head. So by using these things, you can still locate that particular web element, even though it doesn't have any specific properties to find that web element. If it doesn't have the specific properties to find that particular element, but still you can find it using the hierarchy like this. How we can find it? So you have two options to locate it using this family tree. The first one is XPath. The other one is CSS selector. These two will help you to locate a particular web element even it doesn't have any property. It will uses the parent one, siblings, children. So all these things, grandparent, ancestors, successors. So like this, using all these properties, we can find a particular web element using XPath and CSS selector. That is the flexibility that XPath and CSS selector have. So we will see each and everything, how you can use successor, how you can use descendant, ancestors, predecessor, siblings, parent, child. So all these properties you can find and locate a particular web element, even it doesn't have any specific properties to find it. Okay, by using the XPath and CSS selector. Now, so in XPath, in a HTML path that traverses from top to bottom in DOM. That means in this hierarchy, in this family tree structure, this is HTML, this is head, this is body. So it may have multiple children like this. Okay. So if you use XPath, it will traverse from top to bottom. That means if you are finding some particular element which is present here. So from HTML, it will start traversing. From HTML, it will start traversing like this. That means it will search for a particular element from top to bottom. So it will search from top to bottom. Okay. Whereas CSS selector, it will not go from top and traverse till the web element. It will not start from top and traverse till the web element. That is the difference between XPath and CSS selector. XPath will traverse from HTML till the web element is available. But whereas CSS selector, it will not traverse like that. It will directly hit the web element using this whatever we are providing to find that web element. Using that, it will directly hit that web element. It will not traverse from top to bottom. That is the main difference between XPath and CSS selector. So due to this difference, XPath is a bit slow, whereas CSS selector is faster. Because XPath will traverse from, if you are trying to find the web element which is at the bottom of this hierarchy, but still it will traverse from top to bottom. It will traverse from top to bottom and find that particular web element, right? So it will take, XPath will take time, whereas CSS selector will directly hit that web element. So it will be faster when compared with XPath. Okay, so that is the main difference between XPath and CSS selector. And now we have two different types of paths. The first one is relative path. The second one is absolute path. First, we'll see about absolute path. What is absolute path and what is relative path? So absolute path is from beginning, we have to write the path. That means starting from HTML. In HTML, we have header tag, go to that. And in that head tag, you have the paragraph tag, go to that. And in that paragraph tag, if you have any other thing, go to that. So from beginning, we are writing. This we call it as absolute path. From beginning, from scratch, you have to write everything. You have to write the navigation link, how to navigate. So from HTML, you go to the head tag. From head tag, you go to the first paragraph tag. If you want to go to the second paragraph tag, you need to provide the index like this, P of 2. If you want to go to the fourth paragraph tag, you can use P of 4. That means if you have 3 paragraph tags under header, in this 4 paragraph tags, I want to go to the fourth paragraph tag. That can be represented like this. So under this, if you have any other tags, if you want to specify that path, you have to specify from the beginning like this. From HTML head P. So if it has any other tags, you have to specify it like this. 1 second. In other case, in relative paths, You don't specify from scratch. That means from HTML, from root, we will not be specifying. We will be specifying in such a way that which is necessary, that only we specify. From root, we will not specify the path. So directly dot slash go to the paragraph tag by using whose ID is so and so. So that's it. We specify only for specific path. It will not go from the root like this HTML head paragraph so and so. From beginning, we won't specify here. I will show you how to specify the relative path in order to find a particular web element. Here in relative path, we won't be specifying from the root. Exact path we will specify here. Exact path. That means, so there are n number of paragraph tags. Go and find the paragraph tag whose ID is so and so. That's it. We will specify this way, not the absolute path like this. You here you have to search with from HTML. Under HTML, you go to head. Under head, you go to paragraph, fourth paragraph tag. Under so like this, we won't specify in relative path. We'll just say go and find the paragraph tag whose ID is so and so. That's it. This is the relative path. Generally, in order to locate a particular web element, I don't prefer to use absolute path because never ever use this absolute path to find a particular web element. Because suppose here I want to locate this web element, this fourth paragraph tag. So I have written this path, HTML head fourth paragraph. In suppose in future, if this web element is removed, if this web element is removed, if this paragraph tag is removed, if I write the same code P4, will it identify this one? Definitely no, because this is the third one now. The third one is the already existing third one is removed. So this will be removed. And this is acting now as a third paragraph tag. If I use the same one, definitely this paragraph tag will not be identified. It will locate this paragraph tag. So whatever you want to do for this P will not be done now because this paragraph is removed. This third paragraph is removed. And now it is acting as third paragraph. This one is acting as a third paragraph now. So you cannot locate it using this. At that time, you need to again change this path. Now, instead of 4, you need to give this 3. Every time we cannot do this. Every time we cannot do this because we have to write the code in such a way that whatever changes might happen, but still your code should work fine. That is what the main theme of writing the code. Because you should be in a position, you should be thinking about the future also, right? So you have to write the code in such a way that it should work at any circumstances. It should work at any circumstances. Suppose if this is removed, also it should work. If any new tag is also added, suppose it is acting as the fifth paragraph now, but still it should work. Using absolute path, we cannot do that because that is why never ever use this absolute path in writing your code. You have to use the relative path only. Because in future, if there are any changes in this HTML hierarchy, there might be changes definitely. So even if there are changes also, the code which you are writing, it should work fine. Okay. So that is the reason. If you use the absolute path, like saying third child of head, go and find the third paragraph of head. In suppose if they are adding before that third, they are adding some more paragraph tags. In that case, it won't work. So that is the reason we don't prefer the absolute path. We use the relative path only to find any web element. Okay, these are two different types. This is the main interview question. They'll ask you multiple times. They're asking like what is the difference between absolute path and relative path, and why we don't use absolute path in finding the element. So you should be in a position to explain. So absolute path means it will take the path from the root. And suppose if in between, if they have added any other element, or if they have removed any element, like some modifications are done in the hierarchy of the HTML DOM, then absolute path won't work. So that is why we will not use the absolute path. We use the relative path only in order to find a particular web element. So clear all of you? Difference between absolute path and relative path.
Yes.
Okay, that is the difference between absolute. So we give a partial but exact address in relative path. In absolute path, we give the complete full address from root. So that is why we don't prefer the absolute path. We always go with relative path. Okay. So in next session, we'll see in deep about the XPath. There are a lot of things to discuss in XPath and CSS selector that we will be discussing in the next session and the upcoming sessions. Till now, if you have any doubts, you can ask. Try to take some e-commerce application like Amazon or Flipkart or Wedgecart, whatever you want. Take some e-commerce application and try to locate the elements, because in e-commerce applications only you will find lot of web elements. Lot of web elements will be available. Try to work on that e-commerce applications. Then only you will get very familiar with locating a web elements. Okay. So take some e-cart application. So for today, what you will do is go to Make My Trick website. One second. So you practice this one for today. Go to Make My Trip website. Here you have lot of web elements, right? So a lot of web elements are available. What you will do is you try to click on this home stays. You have this one, right? So as of now, we are currently in flights. In flights we are. So now what I want to do you to do is either select homestays or trains. You locate this element and perform the click operation. You locate these trains, okay, and perform the click operation. This is the exercise for you for tomorrow's session. Go to Make My Trip website and locate these trains and perform the click operation. This is your next exercise program task that you have to do for the next session. If you have if you face any difficulties in locating this particular element, we will discuss it in the next session. Definitely you will be facing, because you need to there is something that need to be done here. So you try this one. If you are able to perform the click operation, well and good. Otherwise we'll be discussing in the next session.